as huge David Letterman fans, you worked with David Letterman for 17 years.
Amazing. 1997, I started in February, and it was, I think it was 16th or 17th. And then I was there for 17 years. It was amazing. It was, you know, it was a dream come true. I never dreamt that. I did a little bit of warm up along the way, but this was one of the writers of the Dana Carvey show where I was working on. Dave was looking for a new warm up, and they recommended me. And I had met Dave once before at the Comedy Store in LA, and you know, the Comedy Store in LA was a place where a lot of comics really cut their teeth, and Mitzi Shore, Paulie Tom, still do. And so, you know, Dave and I had that in common. I think that really helped me to get a 6-week trial period at least, which ended up lasting a bunch of years. So it was really, really great. And to work with that man on that stage in that theater every night, I was very, very honored. It's very cool.
Incredible. So 17 years opening for David Letterman.
Yeah.
Tell me, what's a day in the life? Because we've had Jimmy Pardo on from Conan and Don Barris from Kimmel. For you, I know we want to collect them all. I am
and trade them with your friends.
I'm as equally fascinated by the talk show host as I am for the opening comedian, because it is a difficult job. You have to warm up the crowd. Sometimes it's 5 minutes. I've heard from Dawn said it could be an hour because they were behind on production. Something wasn't ready. And so
the Letterman show was like clockwork. It was a well-oiled machine. You know, we did a couple of different times, like on a lot of days we filmed not a lot of days, like once a week we filmed 2 shows. So it was like a 4:30 and a 7 o'clock taping or something like that. And mostly we taped at 5:30. Very rarely did we go away from that. But say we're doing a 4:30 taping, at 4 o'clock, 00:00, they let the audience in. At 4:12:00, I started. I came out, introduced whatever video we were showing that day. We had a few different kinds to let the audience. A lot of people were tourists who came into the show. Not a lot of locals. Some fans, but some guys on vacation from Norway, and he loves the show, but he doesn't really know it well. You show the video, it gets people aware of what the silliness and how the idea of the show. So then so that'll be 5 minutes of video, 5 minutes of me. I'd bring out the band, they do 5 minutes. Dave would come out and do 3 minutes, 18-minute pre-show. And then at 4:30:00, the band started. Alan Coulter, from New York, the greatest city in the world. And it was, we were a well-oiled machine, which was really wonderful. And it never faltered. I couldn't come out at 4:12 and 10 seconds. 4:12:00. I had to be out there and say what I said. And it worked. It was, when you work on that level with that kind of quality, the writers were from Harvard, and the executive producers, they were these brilliant women who just, had started out with Dave at NBC and, as working as writers and writer assistants and moving up. It was just a really well-oiled machine. The best lighting people, the cameraman, that was Dave's main camera person, was Walter Cronkite's main camera person. We had the best of the best. So now and Dave's the best of the best, so you have to bring your level up. And it was really fun to be able to play on that level.
When you go out there at 4:12:00 and you're doing your 5, right?
Right.
What is your vibe? Everyone has their style of how they interact with. How many people are at Sullivan? Is it 4?
It was 492 seats, and it was pretty much my job was, in addition to getting them cohesive, was to find out how smart they were, so I can sort of let Dave know, because audiences sometimes are not the smartest group, and it helps a comedian to know.
Our audience,
your audience is different.
Very smart.
So smart.
Yeah.
Wicked smart, wicked. And our audiences were mostly smart and fun and great, but if they were tired or drunk or whatever, you could tell, you could feel it. And it was my job to sort of read the room and then let Dave know what this crowd was about. And it made it easier for him, like any comic. Like you're watching, like if I'm going on a show and I watch the comic before me, at least to see what the crowd's like, to see the rhythm of the room, to feel the energy.
Of course.
The warm-up comic is the person who sets the pace. And, I was able to do whatever I wanted, but it was such a short period of time that it was like, you work it out, you get the rules that need to be said, a couple of funny lines, and then boom, you move and bring out the band. And then they were phenomenal, and the audience was going nuts. It was a well thought out setup, because Johnny Carson's executive producers, they gave Dave the setup. They said, here's how Johnny did it. You know, you take it from here. And, you know, they helped. You know, Johnny loved Dave. Dave loved Johnny. They had an incredible
Of course,
relationship.
Yes.
without a
Yeah.
doubt, Dave being the heir apparent and the reverence for Johnny was so high. So okay, 4/12/00, it's clockwork, baby. But what's the day looking like before that? I mean, when do you have to clock in? Where
You know, honestly, if I wanted to, I could come at 4:11:59 and walk on stage. And
Wow.
I've had to do that. One time I was coming from Denver from a gig, and I had to take like 4 planes to make it because of blizzards and all. And I walked in at literally with 1 second to go. I grabbed the mic. The audience had no idea that I had just got a friend of mine to drive 1,000 miles an hour from Newark Airport to the set. I got dressed in the car, you know, put the tie on and the thing, and it came out. And from New York, you know, it just came out and did what I had to do.
Right.
Mom, an integral part
Yes.
of our show, right, Mom? I mean, this has been for the last 4 months.
Yeah, we've
Mom's
had a
been
lot of
co-hosting.
fun.
We've had a lot of
A lot
fun.
of fun.
David Letterman is one of the few other compatriots in the game that's mother would frequent his show. Did you
Yes.
meet Mrs. Letterman?
Yes, many times. And she would come over the show. You could see where he got his dry humor from. She was very funny, very lovely. You know, we loved having her there. She was just a joy. If you remember in the NBC days, she was a frequent guest on the show.
Cool.
And, you know, she was just great. You know, I mean, it's like your family. It's like my family. My mother was the funniest person in our family. And all my brothers and my sister, we were just all very funny because we had to put up, you know, the same kind of sarcasm and stuff that goes on in the house. Well, I'm sure that dry humor that I never met Dave's dad. He died young. But his mom had that dry humor. You can see where Dave, and you know, Dave's a very intelligent person, and his mom had that quiet intelligence that was just really, you know, you'd watch her, she was piercing and funny and smart. You know, it's very interesting, you know, like when I saw the preview of your show, because I hadn't seen it before, and I saw how much fun you're having, your mom was like, oh, this is the show for me. Because my mom would send me the funniest cards, and she'd make them herself, and she would call me in the middle of the night and leave me funny messages, and she was hilarious, and she didn't know she was funny. That's what made her funnier, you know.
That's what makes my mom funny too.
Yeah, I haven't a clue.
Perfect.